Right, so yesterday me and Lee here saw Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and did we like it?
No, we did not.
Sadly, we did not enjoy it very much. Now, before you start that bullshit of, oh, but it's for the fans, oh, but if you're a fan, you love it.
We are the fans.
I was there since the first game. I'm Unk status over here.
We were there when it was written.
I am a grandpa in internet times, alright?
Yeah.
And
Spotify called me 58, okay? So, I'm old, okay?
unfortunately, just like the first movie, me personally, didn't love it.
Yeah. I didn't enjoy it all that much either. I think I still like it more than the first movie, but I'm still unsure.
I think, despite not liking this movie, I do think I did have more fun watching this one.
Yeah, if that makes sense. Yeah, slightly more fun.
Most likely for the reasons the movie wouldn't want me having fun. There were a few times a jump scare would happen and I would, I do a bit of a giggle. We're going to start positively, because we want to start positively, and also it's the shortest bit of the video. So let's start with something we can both agree on. The animatronics themselves look very good.
Yeah, the movie itself looks great. It doesn't look as the animatronics don't look like people in suits this time.
Yeah, in the first movie, I think Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica, they were obviously people in suits. At least most of the time, it was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Then Foxy, they never really showed Foxy's legs moving. So it did look like they were just pulling him on a ramp sometimes.
Yeah.
This movie doesn't really have that problem. I think they all move like animatronics. The Jim Henderson company, I hope I'm saying that right. They're the ones that make the animatronics, and every single one of them looked good, from like the toys to the wizards to
the wizards. I think the wizards look the best.
The wizards did look the best.
They were my favorite.
We spoilers for those who haven't seen the movie, but if you haven't, don't know why you're here. Circus Baby even looked good.
Yeah, this is a spoiler review, by the way. I just want...
She looked good.
Yeah,
she damn near looked like they pulled her out of the games, and so I got to give them props for that.
Yes,
Springtrap even for like the wee glimpse we got of him.
I do have a nitpick about that though.
Of course you do.
Why is he so rotted away when it's only been like a month since the first movie?
Good question.
When in the games it was 30 years.
Good question. We're not going to get an answer to that. But I do think the animatronics looked good. Even like they looked good. I don't know what else you want me to. They looked good. I have a wee small nitpicks.
The practical and the CGI effects were definitely higher budget.
Yeah,
that is for certain.
There are some nitpicks I think some people will have. Like there's probably someone who's like looked at these animatronics for years and they can point out 50 different things. Like that's not in the game. Bonnie's the wrong shade of blue.
One shade of blue.
Foxy's hook's a centimeter too tall. The only complaint I have is, in the first movie, I had a big complaint about the red eyes. I think the red eyes looked goofy. So in this movie, they done this in badness, and you can't prove me wrong. The one fucking animatronic you want to have red eyes didn't have red. Withered Bonnie didn't have red eyes. They did that in badness, despite me personally.
I pointed that out, and I was so pissed when I noticed it. I was like, why?
Like, yes, it's a non-issue. It's a nitpick. I can admit that, but it pissed me off, boys.
Let's dive in straight to the movie. Let's talk about the beginning first, right? Like any movie, you talk about the intro, okay? The intro of this movie was about Charlotte, who witnessed the kidnapping from William Afton to another kid, right? And she goes around the pizzeria.
I know where this is going. We're about to get a Ben rant here. Now, someone fucking explain to me why she runs up the adults. Some kid's in trouble. She's damn near crying, and they go, the adults are talking. In what world? What world?
The first parent made sense. He just didn't want to talk to some child that isn't his. Go talk to your own parents, right? Right, whatever. Okay, you're a cunt, right? But whatever. But the second lady, adults are talking, sweetie.
That pissed me off.
Who do you think you are?
I know that's supposed to be the point. You're supposed to, understand why Charlotte hates adults so much.
Yeah.
But you have to make it somewhat believable.
In the real world, that would never happen.
I don't think even in a fictional world, there's only so much I can suspend my disbelief for. And this is coming from someone whose favourite genre is horror.
Yeah.
My favourite genre of movies is horror. So I have to suspend my disbelief a lot.
Yeah.
A lot to make a movie work. This just was not one of... You mean to tell me out of let's be generous and say 50 adults. Out of 50 adults, not one saw a child near crying, screaming that another child needs help, and didn't think, maybe I should entertain this a wee bit. Maybe just for some shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go see what the issue is.
Now, before we continue with that scene, I want to say I like the scene at first. That's one of my positives actually for this review. I think the opening is great. It sets up for what could have been an amazing movie.
I agree.
But after Charlotte escapes from William Afton, she is then seen with 3 stab wounds. She falls over. Everybody in the restaurant sees this.
Not even a gasp.
Not a single reaction.
Like, not even like a gasp. Not even a.
She falls down the trapdoor. The puppet, marionette, whatever you want to call it, comes out and is holding her. Nobody says a thing. Dead silence. Not a reaction.
Like, that could have been a really good, like, you know, in the words of James A. Janice, title card. Where, you know, so sure, it's a wee bit cliche, but you could have had someone scream and then the title card drops. Cliche, yes, but it's a PG-13 horror movie. And, you know, this movie is damn near nothing but cliches and horror. But just a reaction out of anyone. But there's not. I also do think in the games, I think her death is a lot better. I think that could have made
who have been locked outside and stuff.
That could have even worked more with why she hates adults. She could have been like banging at the door, but
and
maybe
nobody was letting her in.
Maybe you can even have a dickhead adult just go, you know, roll their eyes. That would have been more believable.
Yeah.
And then you can have Matthew Lillard, preferably wearing some fucking purple. Why does he not wear purple in this movie? How does this character get the nickname? That's not even a nitpick. That's an actual thing that pisses me off.
Did they call him Purple Guy in the first movie though?
No.
Then.
But in the game, it's the whole thing.
Yeah.
But you could have had him. You know, maybe you see him drive like on like a fucking purple Lamborghini or something, and you know while she's sitting there crying, you can see him slowly open the door and he's sneaking towards her with the knife. And that could have been an effective PG-13 kill, because, you know, it's like the second he lowers the knife, it cuts to the title card or something.
Yeah.
Something like that could have worked. It could have also shown why she hates adults so much. I feel like the only reason it's not like that is so they could show him in the spring Bonnie suit.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only reason it's like that. It felt a little forced to me.
Yeah, no, I can understand. I can understand your feeling.
But, you know, then after that, you know, divided intro, we'll say, because there are some things I like, some things not so much.
Yeah.
But, you know, we go back with Mike and Abby, who is a positive for me. I really bought the relationship.
Yeah, Mike and
siblings.
Abby are one of the greats of the movie, one of the positives.
Which is a good thing, because they are the main characters. So it is a good thing that I enjoyed seeing them on screen. I wasn't sitting there going, it's these guys again. No, not the main characters, no. So that was good. But then my problem comes in when this woman, she done my head in the first movie. Vanessa.
Yeah.
I hated her in the first movie, and she is a little better in this movie. At least she isn't being so cryptic about everything. Because her being cryptic in the first movie, if she just told him what was going on, it could have fixed so many problems.
Yes.
So many, but for some reason she just won't tell him. In this movie, she is slightly better, but not by a lot.
And we're probably gonna say this a couple times. There's a lot of plot holes in this movie.
A lot.
And we're kind of now nearing the part where one of those plot holes appears, where Abby wants to see her friends again, and Mike says no, they're broken. I need to fix them. Later on in the movie, just jumping ahead a little bit here, we find out that they were never broken. They were just simply gone. They were not in the pizzeria anymore.
But he also says something along the lines of, like, I'm paraphrasing it, but something along the lines of, like, you know, there's bits of them here, there's bits of them over.
Yeah.
So you do assume they are
broken, like messed up.
Broken, or maybe he's talking about the souls. Maybe I don't know. The movie's really.
I think it is because he does go in there screaming at them, you know, the souls and stuff later on.
I think it's supposed to be souls, but the way he kind of words it, it makes you think like he is talking about the animatronics.
Yeah, and they're gone, they're broken, whatever. They're not there. But then at the end of the movie, we'll come back to the end of the movie as well again. But the animatronics come in and they save the day. They come in there like on your left, Abby.
I'm not even joking. It actually damn near is an Avengers Endgame sequence, and it's Liam. I'm just gonna say it right now.
You know,
it's Liam.
The animatronics fight each other to this epic battle. You know, to death.
Epic and battle are both in quotation marks. The OG4 kind of just kick their ass.
Together we are FNAF. But where did they come from? How did they fix themselves? How did they just appear there? That's a plot hole. There's no explanation to why this is happening and why they're there.
Yeah, that really just threw me off as well. But, like, you know, getting away from that, Vanessa and Mike are having a date, and their relationship is the most forced thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there was any romance there in the first movie.
I don't think so.
Or maybe they looked at each other once and that was supposed to be it. Couldn't tell you. But, moving on, Abby, she decides to go back to the pizzeria to, see her friends. Then, she finds out they're broken. And Mike, who got some... Mike, I liked Mike's thing where, he wanted to talk to Abby about it, but he didn't know how. I like that. Like I said, Mike and Abby are a massive plus for me in this movie. Especially in this scene where, he's trying to cheer her up, so he's being a wee bit jokey. Right, you've got so and so many tickets. What do you want? Do you want these gummies that have probably been here for years? Do you want this little plushie? And he pressed and he goes, horror.
That was good.
That was fun. That was a fun reference.
Yeah. That's a meme.
I was pointing at the cinema screen when that happened. I would admit that.
Oh, that's one thing I want to say. I'm as guilty as the next guy. I do some Marvel movies all the time. I love movies where I can just, for the fans type shit, where I can sit there and point at the screen and go, I know that. Funny meme, they referenced it, they know me so well, But that doesn't make a good movie, right?
I think, you can have that in a movie, but it's when you rely on that for the movie.
Yeah.
And that's sadly what this movie does.
It does do that a lot.
The points where you can't point at the screen are cool.
We enjoyed that.
One I'm going to say right now, the Shadow Bonnie thing.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Blink and you'll miss it moment. That was cool.
That was amazing. Yeah.
So that makes me... They know the games. They know the games, but for some reason they can't get a good story together. Going back to what we were talking about, Abby decides to choose this wee fast talker thing. So you already know where this is going. You assume the ghosts are going to talk to her through that.
Yeah.
We also got this cool wee subversion where it's like these ghost hunter people.
Yeah, these
content creators kind of.
IRL Phasmophobia players.
They're talking about going to Freddy's, and they're like, some guy called Mike, he told us about this, and obviously you're going to think, oh, Mike Schmidt told them about this? That's kind of weird. But then you meet Michael Afton, who does not need to be in this fucking movie.
He
does nothing. After this scene we're about to talk about, he's gone until the end.
He does not show up at all.
He's also the most... He's damn near Dick Dastardly. He is so obviously evil.
Yeah.
Annoyingly so.
You could just feel it, you can see him smiling at the people, and it's just... He's evil, but what annoys me about that is, because once again with the games here, he's not evil. He hates his dad in the games. Yeah. He wants to go everything his dad, he swears to go against everything his dad has ever done. Killing kids.
Not in this movie.
Boo. Bad. But Michael Afton in the movie, killing kids. Yes.
I like that.
So... Which makes no sense.
It's perfect father-son bonding time,
Yeah, and they never explain why he has this emotion, why he feels like he should continue his dad's legacy.
He also wasn't referenced in the first movie at all, I don't think.
He just said, he owns us. Okay.
Why?
Okay.
So, after this, they go in. I think, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the cameraman was played by the same guy who played Junior in Chucky Season 1. Someone in the comments correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was him. I could be wrong, though. But, then we see the toy animatronics, and like we said before, they look great.
Yeah.
The girl goes down to the music box, and we're about to get to another thing I hated in this movie. But after she turns off the music box, she gets attacked by the puppet. And the marionette looks great. Looks spooky. Can't wait to see this thing the whole movie. Instead, it possesses her, and she has this shitty looking makeup with these long fingers. She looks like the Babadook. I'm gonna put a picture of the Babadook up on screen. That's what she looks like to me. And I was giggling. I laughed my ass off when I first saw that.
He was laughing every time she popped up after, for the rest of the movie.
Giggling.
Because the very first jump scare we get the marionette, this is also one of my pluses. The early jump scares were really good. I think that they were obviously trying to make the movie feel scarier, especially for kids, PG-13 and all that. They were trying to make the movie scarier for kids, right? Trying to make it scarier than the first. But in doing so, in trying so hard on the second half, the jump scares felt really lazy and just oh, I'm in front of you, and it's like, that's not a jump scare.
It doesn't help that, if you're like me and you've seen thousands of horror movies, beat for beat when a jump scare is going to happen. Mm-hmm. Half time, an hour before the jump scare happens, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
So, that is a big negative for me with the movie. It's not that scary. But, so we see all these characters that we just met get killed, and I don't care. I'm gonna be brutally. I'm gonna look into the camera and say, I don't care that these kids died. I don't know them. Who the fuck are these people?
Also, the lore with the puppet. Once again, plot holes and all that I mentioned earlier, but it makes no sense to the games. People say it's for the fans that they reference the games of the lore, but the puppet doesn't make any sense in the lore in this movie compared to the games, because throughout the whole story here, she's on a murderous rampage to kill all parents that basically abandoned her in her time of need. But in the games, she's a guardian. She protects the souls of the children, from William Afton.
I'm pretty sure it's even like referencing Five Nights at Freddy's world with the whole move she has where like revives people and shit.
Yeah, and the fact that she also controls people and goes inside them and possesses them, that's never explained in the games. She's never done that.
Barely explained in the movie as well.
I also think it would have been so much better if, for the whole movie, it was just a puppet. No possessing people with the crappy makeup and, them just being them. I wish it was the puppet, because she's arguably the scariest part of FNAF 2. And would have been the scariest part of this movie if she was just the puppet, instead of being random blonde lady one moment and then Abby the next.
And then, spoiler for the end, Vanessa.
But,
which we're going to get there. We're going to get there. That's going to be...
I want to save my rant for that at the end.
That's going to be a bit... But that's just the thing. Like, in the game, I don't think many people will argue with you that the marionette, when you first play Five Nights at Freddy's 2, you're shitting yourself. This thing is scary.
Yeah.
But the movie loses that because we don't get to see it. And it's a real shame, because I think the marionette puppet looks great in the movie. I think it looks great, but it's been wasted because we barely get to see it.
Yeah.
And when we do see it, it's normally really dark, or it's like that and you just miss it. So it's like, the design was kind of wasted in this movie, I feel like.
Yeah.
But then, after that, we see, like I mentioned, these kids die, all the puppet does something I don't really remember. There's something on about a science fair as well. Kind of goes nowhere.
Yeah, Wayne Knight, is that his name?
Wayne Knight.
Wayne Knight.
Seeing him in this movie made me so happy, but he's such a prick.
He's also one of my positives.
He is.
I liked Wayne Knight's performance in this. He perfectly represented a character that I hate. Every time he was on the screen, I was like, this teacher's an asshole. I hope he dies.
I also feel like he knew what kind of movie he was in, because he was hamming it up. He was being like real campy with it. He was being real over the top, like almost like a cartoon character. He knew the assignment.
Like, and when Toy Chica was trying to kill him as well, and later on in the movie, he's like, he's falling over everything. He's crawling underneath tables and
he's
stuff.
He's like banging on like, you want me to give her an A? I'll give her an A.
His performance is great. And his death was also another sign of that they were trying to clearly make the movie scarier for kids and more gory, but that doesn't work when you don't actually add the gore, which PG-13, once again, I get that.
But here's the thing, it's something I actually mentioned on the way up to the studio. When Toy Chica's crushing his head, I know people, I'm not expecting Terrifier or Saw here, but when she's crushing it, just wee bits of blood droplets.
Yeah, like actual
under his feet. They do that earlier whenever Mangle kills the camera guy.
Yeah.
His hand falls down, the blood trickles down a wee bit. So why couldn't they do that again?
Yeah.
Because they've shown they can do it, and it just feels like no real impact happened when she did crush his head.
Yeah.
After she says this whole line about, I want to see what's going on inside your head.
Oh yeah, the dialogue in this movie is abysmal. The dialogue between characters, for the most part, crap, terrible, shit.
I think that works because it is Charlotte's still supposed to be a child, right?
Yeah.
And I do imagine if a child, she probably thought like, oh, this shit's tough. This shit's tough.
This shit's tough.
So, there is that. Although Megan Fox plays Toy Chica, which is the strangest casting. She's not as bad as everyone's saying.
She's perfect for the role because she's sounded like this. Yeah.
But it's like I don't think she's as bad as all the critics are saying she is. Like, I have heard worse performances in movies.
Fair enough.
I've heard worse voice performances. So like, I think for what it was though, like she is supposed to be a robot. So I think it works. But I also want to talk about Matt Pat as well. His voice acting in this movie.
Yeah, the voice he puts on for Toy Bonnie.
He was great.
Yeah.
Like no notes. Like you can barely tell that's him.
Yeah. I was shocked in the cinema when I heard it.
So I really thought he was just going to use his like normal voice. But Matt Pat, proving he knows what a voice actor is, He said
his voice to do different things.
And Toy Freddy as well was great, but he weirdly doesn't say much. Weirdly, for some reason.
I think he has one like line of dialogue. I think he has one
so.
scene where he talks.
No, he has two. He has the one at Fast Fest, which we're going to talk about later.
And in the house, yeah.
And then in the house, which I'm just going to say this now because this made me giggle. Where Toy Freddy goes, "You let me die," and this poor old couple go, "What do we do?
What did we do?"
Like that got a giggle out of me. That did make me laugh. But what I would say is, like, for some reason, Chica is the main animatronic of this movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
It's because Abby is obsessed with Chica.
But why?
Because that was like her best friend in the first movie. The
was
boy
it
who was
though?
Chica.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it really? Yeah. I don't remember Abby or Chica having anything really special in the first movie. I thought it would have been Barney because in the first movie Barney hits with one of these.
Yeah.
But why Chica? Chica is no one's favourite.
Yeah.
No one. And if you say she is, you're a liar. You've lied right to my face, right to my beautiful face. But we're going to move on. After we and Nate, like I said, the science fair project that goes nowhere. She makes a wee mini Chica, gives it to Wayne Knight, and Wayne Knight's like, "Oh, this is brilliant. This is amazing. You win, Abby."
Yeah. He smashes it. He's an absolute dick.
Like I said, though, he hams up the performance so much to where he is so much fun to watch in this movie, though. So Abby goes home crying, like, the fat prick's like, "We're protecting our title."
Yeah.
And then she runs back to Megan Fox, and Megan Fox is like, "Oh, what's wrong, Abby?" And she's like, "My teacher's a dickhead." So, I forgot to mention this because it pretty much goes nowhere. Vanessa went to that place because...
Oh, yeah, and she talked to the puppet, but the puppet was kind of just like, "You can release me. There's codes, and you can release the
there was that, but it kind of goes...
It doesn't really,
It doesn't take much convincing to... She just kind of goes,
"Hey, strangling," and
"Hey, Abby's here," and it's like, how does Charlotte know about Abby?
Because she was using the talking thing to bring her there.
Yeah, but how does she know about Abby?
Oh, in the first place? Oh yeah, see, they never mentioned that either. So
But yeah, so there's that, and there's a big problem I have with both movies. Like, I'm not scared for Abby. I know, this movie doesn't have the balls to kill off Abby.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the balls to even kill a child on screen. Well, I'm not one of those people who's going I want to see a child get mauled. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, you know a child is pretty much going to be safe in a big movie like this.
Yeah.
Mike's not going to die, because there's going to be more of these movies.
Yeah.
And Vanessa's not going to die, because there's going to be more movies.
Yeah.
So that's the three main characters. You're worried about none of them, and there's no side characters that you can really worry about either.
Yeah.
There's this guy who, his name's Jeremiah. He's there for one scene and comes back at the end.
And how he comes back as well just makes no sense.
It doesn't, but we're going to get to that, because I have a rant there. But, using Abby, Charlotte goes, "Hey, give us the code," and Vanessa does, and then
they get released.
And Corey Kenshin comes back as well. That was a cool wee thing.
That was nice.
I wasn't expecting that. He gets a wee bit of funny dialogue. It was like, "Kid, get out of my car, please." And then Choi Chica's there without her beak. The only time in this movie without her beak.
And also another fun. Oh, that's a reference in the game, and yeah, funny. No, another I get that.
At the end of the movie, she could have that could have been her attack, and she took the beak off, and they don't do that. Missed opportunity there, but they go back to the science fair, and Wayne Knight, being the fat prick he is, walks up to Abby and he goes, "Oh, what, you got someone in a suit? You little bitch. What the..." Near slaps her. So then he just goes, he kind of just goes, "Fuck you, Abby," and goes and huffs.
Yeah, he goes and huffs, and then Toy Chica's like, "Oh, I'll talk to him. I want to see what's inside his head." And then...
Tough line. Tough. Charlotte was cooking.
And then we get I personally think a cool scene of her putting her arm through the window, and then the glass, and smashing that.
That was a cool scene. It does end in the way where she's crushing his head, and it leaves no real impact, because there's I don't think there's even sound effects either.
I think it was just a squishing sound at the end. I don't think there was a sound of the squishing happening, but then there was the crunch.
I think there definitely should have been that. Maybe his eye could have popped out or something. Maybe he just didn't want to scare the kids. But so there's that. Now the animatronics are running free, and we get, throughout the whole movie, they're referencing Faz Fest.
Yes.
And this is something Lee had to point out to me because I didn't even notice.
Because it bugged me. It bugged me when I noticed.
Faz Fest is in one fucking scene. Barely a scene even.
Throughout the whole movie, they were hyping up this Faz Fest. People were, spreading information around the town about the pizzeria. So it was getting people excited about it and, like, making them not care about the murders. So everybody would now go to Faz Fest and dress up as the characters so that the animatronics can freely roam around that night and kill a bunch of people.
Doesn't happen.
But that never happens. Because near the end of the movie, when Michael comes in and announces his plan, for being gone for the whole movie, by the way,
it's dumb.
He is then instantly stopped by the random side character.
By Jeremiah, and that pissed me off. But
yeah.
We're going to get to that later.
So he's stopped, and then Faz Fest just doesn't happen. For all I know, they could begin the third movie of them doing Faz Fest, but why set that up? This whole movie was a whole bunch of setting up and a whole bunch of nothing.
Faz Fest, I think, is like the biggest, because that'll be like an example I'm going to use here is It Welcome to Derry. It Welcome to Derry has been building up, the entity's big event, right? Which is looking like it's going to be the Black Spot.
Yeah.
That's the place where, Dick Halloran's setting all up, and, that would be like it setting that up, but then it just never happens. They defeat Pennywise.
And then
Pennywise shows up, maybe he gets a wee drink.
And the Black Spot is untouched, unharmed.
See, it just, that wouldn't work, because, they're setting it up like it's going to be a big thing, but then nothing happens, and that's what Faz Fest basically is in this movie.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's a nothing burger. There is nothing happening.
It's a nothing burger.
It's a nothing pizza, should I say, because it's Freddy Fazbear's. But, and the only thing they're there at Faz Fest is for a stupid, unfunny joke, where these kids in really bad costumes go...
I forgot about that.
They go up and they go, hey, this costume is great, but the Bonnie goes, no, it sucks. Then he goes, I remember what he says. He was like, I have to go take a shit. And then
he said he's gonna stop some bad men, and then he marches
something
off.
like that. He marches off, and then the kid goes, oh, he wins. It's just a shit joke.
So Faz Fest, which was pretty much outside of, I guess, Michael and the puppet being the villains, that was going to be the main event, and it doesn't happen.
Nothing. So, something else I forgot to mention is Henry's in this movie. He's a big character in the FNAF lore. So, I know in this movie you do have Billy and Stu from Scream. You have Matthew Lillard and your boy. So that was kind of cool having them in it, but they don't
do anything
interact.
with them. Yeah.
We could have got a flashback, maybe.
And
Henry could have done fucking anything in this movie, but he doesn't.
So after all that stuff, Abby and Vanessa at the pizzeria, Vanessa as well goes to sleep.
That was before this.
Well, that was before, but we forgot to mention it there.
We did, yeah, 'cause it's nothing.
It's to conquer her fear of her dad, I guess. That's what it was meant to be. But nothing really happens in it, other than she shoots William Afton.
And a terrible, falling green screen happens, and it made me giggle.
And,
we also see Circus Baby. This is where she shows up. She shows up in the dream.
And then that's making me believe that Vanessa's supposed to be Elizabeth in this story, which would make no sense.
My sister, she'd be more into the lore than I am. She says what the movies seem to be doing is they're mixing characters a wee bit.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would work in this case.
Plus, Vanessa's now an adult woman, and Alyssa, she's supposed to get scooped up as a child.
I would
if
actually
it is going
be
to be
so
that
pissed
bad.
if we have FNAF 3 and she goes, oh yeah, Mike, by the way, I have another secret sibling I didn't tell you about.
Yeah, because, why are you still keeping secrets at this point? Why?
I mean, Mike doesn't trust her anymore, but we're going to get to that fucking thing when we get to it. But yeah, the dream sequence goes nowhere. It basically goes nowhere. That's why I didn't even think about mentioning it. But honestly, seeing with Henry, the only thing that happens with the Henry scene is he gets the music box, which we're going to come back to, you best fucking believe.
Oh yeah, Ben's pissed about the music box, fellas.
So they give him, he gives Mike the music box. He goes, oh, this song used to put her to sleep. So Mike goes back to Freddy Fazbear's to try to save Abby, but he finds Vanessa. Whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo.
And then Vanessa's like, we have to save Abby. And Mike's like, yeah, right. And then they go to the office. She's like, right, we need to find their trackers for some reason. They can't just turn it off. We need to turn on their trackers and then
hunt them down and break them apart, stop them from killing the parents.
So Mike goes, here, I'll do that, and we have these walkie-talkies, we can talk to each other. Mike does that, Vanessa fucks off to go find Abby. And then we get a really cool part where, like, it is basically just Mike playing the game.
Yeah, he's going through the whole second game where he's looking at the fence, he's looking at the cameras and the doors, and he's even using the mask.
I don't want to talk about the mask. Why doesn't he just keep the mask up? Like, in the game, it makes a wee bit of sense.
Because you're getting intoxicated wearing that thing.
But in the movie, before Foxy shows up, why isn't he just...
Yeah, like, holding it the whole time, yeah. And this is just a nitpick. I for the most part, I actually really like the scene where he's basically playing the game. I think that's enough a positive for me. But why is the mask a big just piece of, like, Freddy's face that he holds up? Why isn't it, like, an actual, like, mask that he puts on his head? Because that would make sense of why he's not wearing it the whole time, because he can't, he wouldn't be able to breathe in it, and he's getting warm and sweaty. That would make sense, but they just made it this big fucking thing that he holds up on his face, which just makes no sense.
It also doesn't really make sense why he'd try it either. He even says
it's not going to work, but...
So it makes no real sense why he would try it, but here's another wee nitpick I have. Foxy's jump scare in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
No, I get they can't, like, I get they couldn't...
Just throw the animatronic at him.
I get they couldn't do the jump, they couldn't just fucking lob this boy at Josh Hutcherson, but the jump scare is so lame and clunky and slow.
Yeah. And it doesn't really feel like a jump scare either. It just feels like a...
Like an attack more, like.
Yeah.
I guess an attack is a more accurate way of putting it. But it just feels so slow. It feels like if Mike kind of just went...
And that is how most of the jump scares are in this movie, by the way. Minus the first half, which I thought the jump scares were pleasantly, I thought they were kind of good for PG-13 standards. But then on the second half, I think they just kind of go with the lazy route, where it's just, the scene goes quiet for a second, and then... Yeah, and then...
That's what happens, like, that's just it, like, so Mike's doing the office thing, Vanessa's going to find the animatronics, but she gets attacked by Mangle, who I really thought would have done more in this movie.
I was excited for Mangle, yeah.
So was I, and I was so let down by what they did with it in the movie. I'm not saying he or she, because I'm not having that conversation happening in the comments.
I think Mangle is just an it, though, after what happens, though. I think that's kind of just what...
I think it's an it because it's a fucking robot. That's what I think.
That's
my 2 cents. But, Mangle doesn't do anything in this movie. I mean, it attacks Vanessa, and then it kind of gets thrown at Freddy, and Freddy dies, I guess, after trying to kill this old couple.
Yep.
And, like, I agree with them. What'd they do? They didn't do shit.
What'd they do?
Then they try to find Toy Bonnie, who sneaks into a child's bedroom, and then he attacks the mother, but the kid's like, stop. And he's like, no. And then, no, what happens there is, like, they just turn off Toy Bonnie.
No, because they turned them off at that point.
And because that's the end of that scene, I guess.
Because he figured out how to do it in the room.
I guess that's the end of that scene. So, yeah, there's that. The withered animatronics also don't do much, which was kind of a letdown.
They're cool looking, but yeah, they don't do anything.
Balloon Boy also didn't do much, which to me was kind of disappointing, because...
I'm glad fuck Balloon Boy. I always hated Balloon Boy. I was a Balloon Boy hater since day one.
So yeah, so like seeing Mike rip his head off was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So we all want to do that in the games, but so yeah, there's that, and then what else happens? There's when Vanessa saves like the old couple, she takes them to Doug's house. I think Doug's his name, but the lawyer from the first movie. Why is he here?
He's just there to be like, I know that guy. I can point at him and be like...
But it didn't work, because Lee right beside me was going like, who the fuck is that?
I don't remember the first movie. I watched the first movie. I don't remember. All I remember was the ending, which was the whole we off and half thing, where they worked together at the stop.
The thing is, like, Doug was in one scene in the first movie.
Yeah. Clearly, I don't remember him. So
I don't think many people would even remember him. Except for people like watch that movie religiously.
Yeah.
So then what else happens? Oh yeah, Toy Chica takes Abby to bed, and it's not Toy Chica, it's a fucking puppet. Roar!
Yeah.
And it possesses Abby, and we get more Babadook, and it attacks Vanessa. Not really, because
it
starts kind of sneaks away.
Yeah, it starts attacking them in Mike's house. Mike's house is like torn to shit now, and then
we've got to how Vanessa got to the house. Jeremiah.
Oh, Jeremiah.
Why the fuck is he out this late?
He is randomly he just spawns in. The characters show up coincidentally just for the plot.
No.
They show up just for the sake. It makes me think that everybody in the FNAF universe has teleportation powers because they do just show up everywhere.
How are the animatronics getting around so quickly?
And they walk really slow. Yeah. And like, how did they end up
I've
on
just
different
thought of
streets?
that.
Yeah, how did they get to different streets and stuff? Like, they're slow animatronics. Because there's no really sense of pacing
Yeah.
here. Because Abby can go from her house to the pizzeria,
To school.
to school, to back to the pizzeria, to then back to the school to have Toy Chica there in one day.
Like, just getting to the school, like, I guess you could say she took a cab or something, but I don't think Corey's gonna give her that many rides.
Yeah, but even at the beginning when she was taking the bike there,
Yeah.
how close is the pizzeria from their house if she could bike there in seemingly like 5 minutes?
There's two in this movie. There's two pizzerias in this movie.
Yeah, and she's back and forth in them the whole time.
Yeah.
So there's and every character just moves at the speed of light. No explanation for why. But that's kind of just nitpick because movies can just be fast paced if they want to be fast paced. But anyways, back to where we were. Jeremiah picks Vanessa up and doesn't ask what's going on. Why is your car broken down? Why are you stressing? Just lets her out of into Mike's house. Crazy eyes. And then we get into Mike's house where she has that 1v1 with the puppet who is now possessing Abby.
It's Liam.
She's about to win. Abby, I mean. / Marionette.
But then Mike comes in, he plays the music box, and that stops the puppet.
Yeah.
Then right after, Mike puts it fucking down, and that annoyed me.
Yeah.
That annoyed me. Like I said, it reminded me of that one scene in Terrifier where the mean doll's like beating up Bart with a wooden plank, and she's winning, but for some reason she stops and screams, "Get up!" to him.
Like, continue beating his ass.
In this movie, look, if I was in this movie, let me tell you how it would go. I find out I can subdue this creature with this music box. I would stitch it to my hand. It would become my hand. I would say, this stops it. I'm going to hold on to it. But he puts it down, runs to Abby, even though he sees the creature slink away.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. And then the toy animatronics come back. Whoop-de-doo, Michael's back.
Yeah, Michael comes
Twirling
in.
his mustache.
He comes in like he was the main villain this whole time, when in reality, the puppet was the main villain. You were running away from it for the whole movie. But then Michael comes in, says, "Oh, I'm Michael, no longer Mike Schmidt, by the way." I don't know what's
It's
going
me,
on there.
Vanessa. You didn't tell him about me. You know, we have to finish what our father started. Come home, and then
Do
she
that
goes,
legacy.
She goes, "I am home," and walks back, and then Michael's like, "Alright."
And he's like, "Okay, I guess I'll just do Faz Fest without you. Break their bones, animatronics.
He actually says, "Break their bones." I'm like, what the fuck do you mean,
Yeah.
break their?
Break their bones."
Just say kill them. Like, what the fuck?
And then,
Break their bones.
as they swarm them on your left,
And-
the animatronics come in,
It's so dumb.
and they start fighting the toy animatronics. Not
Not
the
even
withered
fighting.
ones. Not the withered ones. The regular animatronics, who previously in the movie were missing and
No.
assumed broken. But now, they are magically back together outside of the restaurant.
Like you
and
said near the
whooping
start of
it.
this, like the reason this happens is because Mike, he runs back to the pizzeria, like begging for them. He goes, if you ever did care about Abby, you'll help, and then
Help
they
us
do, and it's so. Michael's running away. Jeremiah goes, "Where you think you're going, jackass?" I'm like, "What the fuck? Who are you? Where have you been?"
That was a scene that kind of bugged us, but probably bugged Ben more
bugged
than me.
us.
But yeah, Jeremiah wasn't there for the whole movie. Sees this guy running outside and just cross lines him. You don't know who this guy is.
You don't know him.
That could have just been some guy who's on a rush somewhere, and you just attack him. Like, you don't even know he's evil.
The thing is, like,
You're just attacking random strangers.
this is the wee story, but I actually made the two girls in front of us laugh when that happened, because I think I actually did say a bit too loudly, "What the fuck? Who are you?" when that happened.
Yeah.
So it was so, and then they give him this one-liner, like he's like the hero of the story.
Yeah,
but
when he wasn't even there for the whole movie. He
he's
wasn't
barely a
there.
character. He's barely it, which is it was like his first scene. He does seem like a cool guy. I wouldn't have mind seeing him as like another player in the movie.
But no.
Maybe he could have even helped Vanessa more than he did in the movie.
Yeah.
Like maybe Mike could have called him and went, "Hey, Abby's missing. I have Vanessa looking. Could you maybe help?" Well, and he probably went, "Yeah, all right, sure." But no,
He just shows up.
he's for some reason doing his iconic night drive. That's what he's known for in the games. Old Jeremiah, he's always out there. But then he punches the boy and goes. He says like, "Where do you think you're going, jackass?" And he's
Yeah.
like, who are you? So then Chica starts dying, and Abby's crying. So I guess the other three can just go fuck themselves. I guess she only cares about Chica.
Yep.
For some reason. And then I think the ghost of Golden Freddy goes, Mike. We can't. We're about to just. We about to head out.
Are you sure it was the ghost of Golden Freddy? I thought it was Chica's. I thought it was Chica's ghost.
I'm pretty sure it's Golden Freddy. I think that's why he wasn't there.
See, I'm still confused. Like which kid goes to what animatronic? That like even though I've always played the games, I know like the kids. I just don't know who goes.
No,
to
I'm
who.
pretty sure Chica's ghost was a girl.
I was always confused on that, but
Or maybe that kid was a girl then.
no. But obviously, FNAF lore was always confusing, even in the games.
So, I'm sure someone will correct us, but like,
Yeah.
it's either Golden Freddy or Chica. I'm pretty sure it's Golden Freddy though. So he's basically saying like, hey, we hope to see you in heaven. Not too soon though, Abby. Aren't I, wee stinker? And then and this is something that drives me nuts about ghosts in general. Why are you such a cryptic bitch? Just tell him, hey, now that I'm about to go to heaven, Afton's about to come back, so look out for that.
Yep.
Like, why can't you just say that?
Yeah.
So then, the movie ends with this really forced thing of Mike going to Vanessa, don't talk to us. Get the fuck away.
Which bugs me because, yes, she may have hid a lot of secrets from you, but she kind of did a lot more than you did this whole movie. She was saving Abby a whole lot more. I feel like she had a lot more screen time than you did, actually. So I feel like she was a lot more prominent role.
But yeah, so they leave and she's sitting there crying at the doorway and you see the puppet sneak up behind her and then...
It possesses her.
And then possess her, you see the shitty makeup starting to come on her and dear God, that made my balls itch.
What?
I was so mad. I was so mad when that happened. It made me so mad my testicles actually got itchy.
And we're not mad because of the cliffhanger. Cliffhangers can be good.
Avengers Endgame, Infinity War had one of the best cliffhangers ever.
Yeah.
The reason this cliffhanger doesn't work is not because it's like, oh, see what happens next. It's, oh, well.
It's because this whole movie was a whole lot of setting up and a whole lot of doing nothing.
It was nothing.
So it was just annoying how the movie just ended, just like that.
I'm going to say this right now, I would rather the third movie just be about Afton coming back instead of Charlotte again.
Yeah. And now that we've pretty much gave you the whole movie there, the whole rundown from start to finish.
Let's give you the after credits.
The after credits.
They go and let's be real, like, you know what the after credits is before going into this movie. You know it's going to be them finding Springtrap for the horror attraction,
Yeah. And then he wakes up.
That guy had, from the glimpse we got from Springtrap.
He looked good.
He does look good.
Yeah, he looks good.
Well, you said you had a nitpick about him.
The nitpick was just that, like, he was really worn down, despite...
Oh, yeah, you said that.
Yeah, despite 30 years
I forgot.
not passing. But then the second end credit scene.
We didn't see this in the cinema because literally the second that one happened, I left.
Yeah, I had to watch it online because we just thought I just didn't think there was gonna be two. I thought there was only gonna be one, so that was also my bad. If I had I should have known the MCU changed the world in a different way, and every movie has to have two now.
But this isn't even really like a scene; it's more like dialogue, just
yeah. It's about Henry explaining how he made the animatronics of Afton and how he's to blame for a lot of the stuff that happens. But then, what happens as he's explaining all this, he says that, like, the marionette's still there, and then he presumably dies. Somebody breaks into his house and kills him, which, it's the puppet. But why would she kill her own dad, is what I want to know. Because it goes back to what I was saying before about her being the Guardian in the games, instead of some rampaging monster in the movie.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. Too many plot holes, too many... questions left unanswered.
Like I said, I think my idea for the opening would have made a lot more sense to why she hates adults, because I feel like the way the movie did it made it so forced.
Yeah, where they just did nothing.
Because, like, what do you mean? Not a single adult was worried?
Yeah, like...
Where were that kid's parents?
Yeah, where was Henry in the opening scene? Like...
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like, where was the kid who went missing's parents?
Oh, yeah,
Like, if you heard a child scream, a kid's in trouble, would your first thought not be...
Where's my kid?
Where are my kids?
Is it my kid? Let's make sure.
Let's do a head count. 1, 2... Okay, they're all there. Like, would you not... It just felt really forced. So I think they should hire me to do the writing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the movie wasn't great, and, like, that upsets me, because, as a fan, I want to like the movies. I want to enjoy the cinematic universe, but,
Too many things were changed. Too many things were not explained. And overall, the movie just was not scary. It was not a fun watch. Minus the bits you can point at and be like, I know that reference.
There were a few bits of comedy where you could kind of go, hey, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. But that was kind of about it. There's nothing more to... Just those little positives about, the opening scene and how the animatronics looked.
And, of course, Mike and Abby. I like I said, Josh Hutcherson, and I forget the actress who plays Abby. But they said, I do buy them as siblings.
Plus, when you have William Afton so much in this movie, you think they would use him more often for actual things instead of just being random illusion effects and dream sequences.
I guess that makes sense.
He does a whole lot of nothing.
I guess they really have him in their opening scene, then the dream sequence, and then they probably just want to save Springtrap for the actual third movie.
But they use him a lot, but do nothing.
I think the main problem is I think they went way too early with doing Springtrap.
Oh, like sure,
yeah. Not Springtrap. I mean, they made him Springtrap too early.
Yeah,
because he becomes Springtrap technically at the end of the first movie, which
that also always bugged me because we didn't see the kids jump him.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a possible first movie review.
Yeah,
which I would love to do, but I do think overall this movie it misses the mark for me as a FNAF fan myself, as a fan of Freddy since the first game. Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is one of my favorite indie horror games of all time. So I am a fan of this franchise. I was waiting for this movie ever since it was thought of.
Yeah.
And it really let me down.
We wanted FNAF movies before video game movies were even really big, like they are now. And it just sucks that the movie wasn't scary. And
well, that doesn't really, a lot of the big horror movies aren't really that scary. Friday the 13th isn't really that scary. Chucky isn't that scary, and Child's Play 2 is one of my favorite horror movies.
And it just sucks that there's too many plot holes, and the movie itself just felt like they were pushing.
It felt like it was rushed, but it also dragged at the same time.
Yeah,
there were so many times
they do a lot of things, and then they don't explain the things, and then that makes it confusing, even for someone like me who tried keeping up with the lore for the longest time.
I know people are going to defend it, saying there's a third movie coming, so they'll explain some things there, but that doesn't work.
It still makes the second movie ass because it was a whole lot of setting up and doing nothing. But I think you guys have heard us rambled long enough. It's 50 minutes now into this session about us going from start to finish in this movie. So
let's just give our rating
overall.
How many Freddy heads would you give this movie out of 5?
Okay, out of 10 exotic butters, Ben. This movie gets I'm gonna say a 3 out of 10 exotic butters.
You're a generous man, Lee. Unlike me.
Yeah.
1. I did not. I don't think the positives are enough to you have the animatronics, Abby, and then a few cool scenes, but I don't think that's enough to give it more than 1.
I was really heated when I first went out of cinema because of that abysmal ending. But after a whole night on sleeping on it, no, I there's positives to it that I can't just overlook. And even though the positives don't make it a good movie, definitely not by a long shot, it still puts it up by points by me, obviously, and that's why it's a 3 overall.
See, for me, I think I do need just a little bit more. Maybe it's because I'm in a bit of a bad mood today because of recent things that have. Maybe that's made me a bit of a harsher fella. But I just think maybe 1.5. I don't know. But I just think there's too much wrong with this movie for me to And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think I can even recommend this movie to a fan of the franchise.
Yeah.
I don't think I could. A lot of people say if you're a fan, you love it, but where proof that that's not true?
I've seen lots of people online talk about it who are big fans, and the most heated thing was just that Michael Afton's a bad guy when he's not supposed to be, which that annoyed me too as somebody who's played the 8-bit mini games. But it was just my main thing was just that there was a whole lot of shit that made no sense.
Yeah.
And then they proceed to do nothing on that, and then add more shit, and then cliffhanger, and then you're like, this movie wasted my time.
It does feel like the movie just wastes time though, just because nothing happens.
Yeah.
It's building up to that cliffhanger, but I'm just gonna be honest, I don't care enough about Vanessa to give a shit.
Also, I personally think the whole evil Vanessa thing should have been done like how it was done in Security Breach.
Yeah.
Where she's Fanny and she's dressed up as the bunny. You know, instead of her getting just possessed by the puppet. And I still don't like how the puppet's on a murderous rampage when she should be the guardian and protecting kids.
I want to say, though, I know exactly how the third movie's going to end. It's going to end with another We Are FNAF moment, but it's going to be Vanessa and Charlotte fighting off.
Yeah. I predicted
and Mike
that.
is going to sit there and watch like he always does.
I predicted that as well at the beginning. I went in there with Ben and I was like, Ben, before this movie begins, this is going to have a We Are FNAF moment again. But this time, it's going to be like all the animatronics fighting each other. And that's exactly what fucking happened.
You can't even call that a fight, though.
Exactly what happened.
You can't even call that a fight. But yeah, that's our review for Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Are we excited for the third one? I'm not.
I'm not gonna lie, even though I did not like this movie at all, I'm a bit excited for the third one. Because I like Springtrap. Springtrap's my favorite. Springtrap's my favorite.
Matthew Lillard being, hopefully, the main villain. That would be cool to see. Like, I'm still going to see it, because like I said, I do want to enjoy these movies. Maybe the third one, they'll finally have their shit together. I doubt it, though.
Yeah.
But if you want to see us review any other movies...
Yeah, let us know. We want ideas.
Anything.
This is our first video. We want ideas for what we can do in a studio like this. So just comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Helps us grow, you know? But this has been Ben and Lee in a studio. See y'all later.